Shitanshu performed his duty well. So performed his duty well is the phrase that is highlighted. Second context, he got himself exonerated from all the charges leveled against him. The phrase that is highlighted is got himself exonerated. Right? Now let's look at what meaning both these contexts give. Context 1, Shitanshu performed his duty well. Meaning whatever was required of him, he did that. Right? So the meaning that context 1 is giving us is this person, Shitanshu, conducted himself in a specified manner. Right? This person conducted himself in a specified manner. Which is whatever was expected, he did that. He performed that. The second context, he got himself exonerated from all the charges leveled against him. So keep in mind some clue words in the context again, against him. So there was something that he was charged with, right? So he got himself exonerated. So basically the context is saying that he freed himself from something, right? Probably there was some offense that he was charged guilty of or some crime that was charged against him, right? So he got himself free from all the charges leveled against him. That's the meaning that the context is giving. Okay, so now let's look at our options. A, and in the second context, the highlighted phrase is got himself exonerated, right? Option A, he freed from all the charges leveled against him. Though this word is giving us the meaning, but I cannot apply it in the context as such, right? So I need he freed himself. So I can't use option A. And then Shitanshu freed in the first context doesn't make sense. Eliminate. Inculpated. Inculpated means suggest that someone is guilty. So Shitanshu inculpated doesn't make sense. Even in the second scenario, this person is freeing himself from the charges. So inappropriate. Option B. Option C. Acquitted himself. Acquitted himself means one, somebody who is conducting themselves in a specified manner. That's one meaning, which is there in option 1 or context 1. And the second context, right, which is nothing but acquit. To acquit oneself means to free oneself, right, to clear of some sort of a guilt or blame. So acquitted himself can be our answer, but let's quickly look at option D and E. Option D, exculpated. Exculpated means to clear of guilt or blame, but I can only fit this in context 2, exculpated from all the charges leveled against him. So since we cannot use this word in context 1, again, even if I have to use exculpated, I have to use he exculpated himself from all the charges. So though the meaning is right, but I can't use it in this sentence because it doesn't give a complete construction. E, inculcated. Inculcate means to kind of teach someone, right? Either by frequently instructing them or through repetition. To instill something in someone. Like, you instill courtesy in children, or you instill or you inculcate the young people, with some sort of a sense of duty towards their nation or family, right? So inculcate is an inappropriate word in both the contexts because we already know the meaning that these contexts are giving, right? So the answer is acquitted himself. Context 1, my wife's views do not fall in harmony with mine. Highlighted phrase is fall in harmony. Context 2, they failed to give a warm welcome to him on his arrival at the station. Highlighted word is give. Context 3, they have signed an agreement which has ended their age-old hostility forever. Highlighted word is agreement, right? So we'll have to choose out of these 5 answer options one word that can replace fall in harmony, give and agreement, and can be used in all these contexts, right? Our first word, accord, is nothing but before we move on to the options, let's identify the meaning the context gives. Context 1 meaning. So, my wife's views do not fall in harmony with mine. Meaning, to be in agreement, right? So, basically what this person is saying is his wife and his views, they are not matching. Both their views are not in harmony. They are not in agreement. Context 2, they failed to give a warm welcome, which means what? So, in this context, it was appropriate for them to give a warm welcome, which they did not, right? So basically to give or grant, right? Especially something that is due, something that you need to do, or appropriate, right? So they did not do that. Context 3, they have signed an agreement which has ended their age-old hostility forever. So in the third context, the meaning basically is saying some sort of a compromise or settlement between two conflicting parties, right? Hostility, age-old hostility. So that has come to an end because of this settlement, right? A settlement or compromise between conflicting parties. So they have signed an agreement. Now let's look at our options. Accord. My wife's views. So accord, one meaning is to be in agreement, right? Or unity or harmony. The second meaning is to give or grant, especially as being due or inappropriate. And the third meaning is some sort of a settlement or compromise between conflicting parties. So accord is our answer, but let's quickly look at the other ones. My wife's views do not agree with mine. Yes. Option B goes in the first context, but what about context 2? They failed to agree a warm welcome is illogical, right? It's incorrect usage. They have signed and agree, again, incorrect. So, can't use option B. Option C, my wife's views do not verify with mine. Again, it's not the right construction. They failed to verify a warm welcome, doesn't make sense. They have signed and verified. Another thing, a simple way to save time, right? Pay attention to this indefinite article and we know that it has to follow with a word that starts with a vowel, right? And the only words that start with a vowel are agree and accord, option A, B. So you can quickly eliminate all three options, C, D, E, out, right? And in between accord and agree, we know that accord is the right option that will fit all the three contexts and not agree. So we choose A, right? Same with similar and treat also. It's not the right fit in any of the contexts. Are you following? This rule does not hold good in his case. Hold good is the highlighted phrase in context 1. Context 2, they failed to put themselves to the work with dedication and missionary spirit. Put is our highlighted word in context 2. So the meaning that context 1 gives is, this rule does not hold good in his case, meaning probably it's not relevant. Hold good means relevant, to be relevant or useful or appropriate. So that's the meaning. So this rule is not relevant, is not useful, is not appropriate in his case. Context 2 meaning, they fail to put themselves to the work with dedication and missionary spirit. So we're talking about here in terms of devotion, right? They're not devoting themselves with diligence, right? Diligence means focused work, hard work, commitment, right? So devote again. So they fail to devote themselves with diligence to the work with dedication and missionary spirit. Now that we understand the meaning that the context is giving, let's quickly look at our options. The first one we have is accede, second secede, third apply, fourth devote, and 5 adjust. Okay, so quickly, accede means what? To give one's consent, right? Basically you say, okay, somebody is asking you for something and you give them your consent. Accede again can have different meanings in different contexts, right? One other meaning is to arrive at or come into office, right? Like accede to the throne. Another meaning is to become a party to an agreement or treaty. So that's another meaning, all of which will not be appropriate in both the contexts, right? This rule does not accede in his case, incorrect. They fail to accede themselves, incorrect. Secede. Secede means to withdraw formally from a membership in a state, union or other political entity. We can quickly eliminate this option as well. Inappropriate choice. Option C, apply. This rule does not apply in his case. In fact, this phrase is a collocation, right? We've heard people say this rule does not apply. This rule does not apply in various contexts. They fail to apply themselves, which means put themselves, right? So, seems to be our best bet. Again, devote and adjust. Devote might fit in the second context. They fail to devote themselves to the work, however, not in the first context. This rule does not devote in his case, doesn't make sense. And adjust also is an inappropriate word. Though it fits in the second context, it does not fit in the first context. Remember, we need to pick a word that fits in all the given contexts, and that word in this question is apply. This rule does not apply in his case. They failed to apply themselves to the work with dedication and missionary spirit, right? Both are collocations.